G'day everyone, I'm back home from rehab and the bike, the Harley here behind me, has been sitting in the garage for, it's gonna be 5 weeks now. 5 weeks since my crash. So this is the longest I haven't ridden a motorcycle, and the Harley is obviously a bit dusty sitting out here in the garage. So today I'm gonna give that a bit of a hose down. And I wanna talk to you today about dealing with a crash and the want to never stop riding. So let's go. And now for my favorite bit. I'm gonna go start the bike up. One, for my own enjoyment of hearing that engine, and two, just to get that engine rotating a little bit whilst it's stationary. Oh, she sounds good. Riding this motorcycle. Alright everyone, out for a cruise on the wheelchair, taking the dog for a walk, falling behind because this wheelchair is extremely slow. Now if you didn't see the last video, as you can see, I had a bit of a crash. I was riding my KTM and had a tumble off-road. If you want to learn a bit more about the accident, go check out that last video to catch up. But a bit of an update from that video. I was obviously still in rehab clinic, and now, as you can see, I'm out, which is great. So a bit of an early dismissal from rehab. I was doing pretty well. Physio was really happy with how the recovery was coming on, and I was able to prove that I could manage all of my physio at home and could manage, along with my partner, getting in and out of the wheelchair, by ourselves. So that's really good. So it's really nice to be home, eating real food. That's definitely helped the recovery even more. I'm about 1 week away from all of my weight bearing restrictions being lifted, which also means that I'll be able to start standing again in about a week's time. Again, great news. I'm looking forward to that. And I thought I'd talk about today about dealing with an accident. If you're somebody who rides a motorcycle and has had an accident, maybe you've felt apprehensive getting back on two wheels. More than likely, a family member has felt uncomfortable about you getting back on the bike, and so I thought maybe we'll kind of discuss where I'm at with that and how I'm dealing with it. So that's what we're going to do.
Have you noticed?
Oh, and just quickly, we'll say hello to my lovely little dog, Maverick. Say hello, buddy. I think he loves the microphone more than he loves the camera. The big fluffy microphone. As you can see, he is a greyhound. He's a ex-racing greyhound that we adopted. He's a handsome boy. And of course my lovely girlfriend, Zara, who's my nurse at the moment, going above and beyond what is expected. So look, I can only really speak about my experience with motorcycle crashes. I can't speak, on anyone else's experience. We all have, a different type of crash, whether it's on-road or off-road, whether it's a solo crash, or whether it's involving other vehicles, and we all handle the trauma, the rehab, the recovery. We all handle that differently. So for me, I have to admit, so far, I believe that I've been pretty positive with what went down and how I've recovered. It's not to say that there weren't some scary moments in the trauma unit, particularly when I lost a lot of blood after surgery. But in terms of dealing with the crash itself, I was very quick to accept it. And really it comes down to one reason why, and that was, I can honestly say it was my fault. I was riding too fast in terrain that was, too dusty. The visibility was down. And I was just riding right at the limits of my capabilities. I was riding fast, and I just shouldn't have been doing that. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't be in this wheelchair right now. So being able to honestly look at myself and take that on the chin and accept that and take ownership of that really allowed me to square this away. I can confidently get back on a motorcycle because I know that I'm the person in control, and it's my decision making that can keep me safe out on the road or out on the trails in the forest. And going forward, it's definitely going to make me rethink how I approach riding my motorcycle. I'm not going to be trying to be the fastest person out there just because, let's all admit it, it's pretty fun at times. Instead, I'm going to focus on enjoying the ride and enjoying the adventure and the scenery and the company and making sure I get back home safe and sound. As an ex-motocross racer, that's always really hard, particularly when riding the adventure bike. As soon as I hit that dirt, my racing instincts kick in, and I want to tackle hard terrain. I want to ride fast. I want to push the bike. I want to see what I can do, and it's so much fun when I'm doing that. And there's still a time and place to be able to do that kind of thing. But knowing my limits and making sure that I don't push those limits and keep things safe and ride with people that I trust, those are going to be the key aspects of my riding going forward when I get back on the bike. So, dealing with, family, dealing with friends, people who are concerned about you getting back on a bike, that's obviously a lot harder issue, especially if those family or friends don't ride. Not everyone understands what it is to ride a motorcycle, why we do it, why we get on two wheels without, walls and an airbag to protect us. We know as riders the reward that comes from being on a bike. Whether you're saddling up, the tent and the camping gear for a long distance trip, or whether you're heading out into the trails for the day, just with you and a mate or two. We know that nothing beats the feeling of riding on two wheels. The freedom that comes with that, the responsibility that comes with handling that machine, and of course the risk that we know we face every day when we get on the bike. And it's that risk that makes the rewards so much more enjoyable. And I think most things in life that I enjoy come with some sort of risk. It might be physical risk in terms of riding a bike. It might be financial risk with trying to start businesses. But whatever it is, that risk makes me know that I'm onto something that I love. I know that the payoff is going to be something that I enjoy more than anything else in the world. And that's how I feel riding motorcycles. There's just no part of my body that wouldn't want to be on two wheels. And that's why I can't wait to get back on the bike. And this is something that I find I have to communicate with maybe my partner, my family members, so that they can understand why it is that I ride. And even after an accident like this, why I'm so excited to still get back on the motorcycle. And I know it can be hard for them, and I know it's been hard for my family and my girlfriend to see me in the trauma bed and see me go through this rehab process. But I think through good communication, letting them know that this is what I was made to do, and let them know that going forward, I'm going to be more conscious as a rider and the risks that I take. I think that's the only way that that relationship can be stronger and that trust can develop. And if you're someone who is dealing with the trauma of a motorcycle recovery and you're trying to find that confidence to get back on two wheels, or you're trying to find the words to communicate to your family and friends to help them understand why you want to get back on two wheels, make sure you leave a comment below or even reach out to me on Instagram, and I'd love to have a chat with you and help in any way that I can. The truth is, I come from a line of motorcycle riders. It's in my blood. And I just know that I'm never gonna stop riding. Peace.